yada yada yada. Honey, they not thinking about you like they and welcome back to another video. Obviously I've been liking the chit chat and get ready with me, and I kind of feels like it gives you guys a little bit of insight about me and what I've been up to. So I'm gonna tell you a few things that I learned that I feel like are valuable, tips for enjoying your 20s. I didn't bring a handheld mirror and the light is all the way over there, so this may seem a little ghetto, but let's just run with it. Obviously if you haven't subscribed, please make sure you do so. All right, let's go. And I think I already told y'all about this, the All Hours foundation. That's my new jam. I use my Chanel when I'm just kind of but I can't believe I don't even have actually I do have a handheld mirror. Hold on. All right, so my makeup routine for the most part, again, is the same. I just like talking to y'all. So your girl is 30, flirty, thriving. 30 and thriving. Let's start there. 3 decades around the sun. I don't know how I feel just yet. I think I've been feeling 30 for a long time, so it's just the numeric to go with all of the responsibility and all of the other feelings that I've already had. I wrote some of the things down so I don't forget, because I wanted to share with you guys just everything. And I've kind of been loving the Tory Lanez album. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. Also, it's the first album in a very long time, just in general, that I've kind of played from beginning to end repeatedly. So one thing that I learned, and a lot of my friends, they kind of give me a little bit of hell for it, and it's to spend money on experiences. And that goes far beyond just traveling. That's restaurants, a good massage, just anything. Spend your money on experiences, because the thing where they're oh, travel money returns, time doesn't. It's kind of the same thing. Money really will return, but the time, it really doesn't. So if you have a nice restaurant that you're interested in going to, hit it up, get dressed, get cute. For me, experiences come in several different forms, just beyond going traveling, doing something. It could be something as simple as going to a grocery store, and maybe you go to Kroger or wherever, and you're oh no, now I need to go to something nicer, a farmer's market, where you're spending a little bit more for your fresh produce. So spending money on experiences was definitely something that I learned in my 20s that I'm going to carry over into my 30s as well. I learned this a very long time ago, very early in my 20s actually. Stop caring about what people think. If you want to do something, do it. If you want to say something, say it. Just stop caring about what people think. Other people's opinions, they're just that. They're just opinions. And I'm not saying to just be rude and disrespectful and not be open to constructive criticism, but at the same time, stop limiting yourself because of what other people will say, what they have to say. There's times that I've been in situations where I was happy that I spoke my mind, because it's oh yeah, that's a good perspective, or oh yes, let's resolve the issue. So say what you want, do what you want, and just stop caring about people, because you're going to continue to limit yourself, because you're oh my gosh, I'm so afraid of what Sally's going to think. I'm so afraid of what Jake is going to think. I remember in my community college, I had literally just shaved my head completely, buzz cut, not buzz cut, but low, super low. This was when it was unheard of for a woman to have no hair. It was very much frowned upon by a lot of my peers at the time, so I'm just gonna think that maybe it wasn't the time for that. But now a lot of women are embracing it, which is good, but at the time, like, people gave me hell for it. I remember there was like this, it wasn't a talent show, I can't remember exactly what it was, but there was something at my community college. Was it a talent show? I don't remember, whatever it was. There was something at my community college, and I went on stage. Mind you, I had just had my haircut, and I had like a nice little like reddish brownish tint to it because I dyed it. And as soon as I made it to the stage, they turned the lights off. Like, when I tell you off, like, they turned the lights all the way off. And I stood on the stage, and you could hear the entire crowd laughing, like, just ha ha ha. Like, I was like, first of all, y'all are immature as hell, you know. Like, so from then, and even before that, like, that was just kind of like a reassurance of like who I am as a person. Like, don't care what people think, don't care what people have to say. I'm telling you, like, I still don't know why they turned the light off or who turned the light off. I'm positive, I'm 100% positive it was one of those little boys up in the little light rooms in the auditorium. And if you're watching this, thank you for helping me continue to build my confidence. But it was like, what even was the point? You know, like, people were laughing and booing. Even to when I left the auditorium, people were still outside, like, laughing and booing. And I was like, okay, like, I didn't even get to speak on the microphone or like do anything. All I did was got to the stage. So I learned a very long time to, yeah, I learned a long time ago, like, just don't really care what people think. Like, they're gonna talk about you regardless. They're going to say things, do things, and if you are sure about you and who you are, like, all that stuff really doesn't matter. And that's how I was. Like, I was sure about who I was. So for whatever reason, again, like, they turned the lights off. I still don't know, but another thing is, don't care what people think, because sometimes they're not even thinking about you. Like, I had friends that were like, oh my gosh, what would they say, yada yada yada. Honey, they not thinking about you. Like, they're not thinking about you. I really love this Laura Mercier primer because it keeps my skin so hydrated. Next up, like, this one, I learned a lot. I don't want to say I learned it a lot more, but I learned to appreciate it a lot more once I moved to Dallas. And it's just call your family. Like, a few minutes a day, a few seconds a day goes a long way, because these people are the people that are gonna be with you for life. And I know, like, there's sometimes like some family members that you're not, you know, cool with, and that's fine, but call your family. Call your mom, call your grandparents, call your siblings. Like, just call them. The time that you spend talking to them, it's just like, sometimes it's like a distressor for you, a distressor for them, and sometimes it just reminds you like everything is going to be okay, and that you always have these people in your corner regardless of where you are and what you're going through. So call your family. For a girl that went through so many different phases, we're gonna call them phases, I think it's so important for you to constantly reinvent yourself. I know a lot of times people are like, oh my gosh, like, you're changing, da 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 da. You're supposed to change. You're not supposed to stay the same. Like, when you water a tree, does it stay the same size? No, it continues to grow. So continue to reinvent yourself, whether that be maybe in the form of like your own personal growth and development, something that's physical, like maybe you get a haircut, maybe you dye your hair, like whatever. Like, just continue to reinvent yourself. A lot of people hate to hear this, but we're not meant to be like the same. Like, that equates to stagnation for me. And it doesn't necessarily mean, oh, like, you have to get a promotion, oh, you have to graduate from school, oh, you have to, it could just be you just being better than you were yesterday. So by you continuously reinventing yourself, that is just a true testament to your own personal growth. So that was something that I learned, and I think it was really eye-opening for me when I went to college. My undergrad, I was so different when I left And then when I look at like over the 3 years that I was at Florida International, I was like, wow, the progression is insane. Like, I was this person and I graduated into being this person. Like, my fitness at the time, don't worry, your girl about to get back on it. But it was just like a whole lot of different things. Like, there were so many different times where I was just kind of like, this is not working. Like, what am I doing wrong? And reinventing myself was something that I constantly had to remind myself, like, it's okay. Like, if you want to start a new chapter tomorrow, go ahead and do that. Who's gonna judge you for it? And if they judge you for it, they don't belong in your life, honey. This one is obviously a no-brainer, especially with like skincare and all of these things like being like popular and trendy. Like, invest in your skin, your hair, your overall health, actually. Whether that be in the form of like your annual checkups at the doctor, your mental checkups, because mental health wellness is a real thing, y'all. Whether it be in the form of just eating well, like, invest in yourself. And don't invest in a plethora of like products and just all these things. Like, sometimes it could be as simple as like drinking your water, not sleeping in your makeup, brushing your teeth before bed. Like, it doesn't always have to be an extensive skincare routine, which, I mean, like, obviously to each his own. Like, sometimes it could just be eating healthy, like just little things. As you continue to grow older, obviously, like, your body's not bodying the way that it used to body. So obviously taking care of your skin and your health in general, that is so critical in your 20s. Obviously, this one comes without saying because I am in the lovely city of Barcelona. Travel. Remember I was talking earlier about like spending your money on experiences? Travel is one of them. And sometimes it doesn't have to be out of the country. Sometimes it could be in the country. Sometimes it could even be in your own state, in your own city. Travel to like a different part, like a different zip code. You know, like, you're usually shopping in this area, maybe you want to shop in that area, and it kind of broadens your horizon. Like, you get to see different people, different perspectives, and sometimes you just need to get away from like your normal. So take trips. What y'all be saying on Instagram? I like my dates out the country. Travel, baby, travel. I had to learn to be intentional about everything, understanding my own whys. Like, it helped me to become not only more present in my day-to-day life, but I was able to achieve like certain goals that I had set for myself within school, like my career life, and even in my personal life. It's also important to be intentional with your relationships, whether they are platonic or romantic, because you're able to understand the purpose and the significance of these relationships. Like, why are you dating this person? Why is this person still your friend? Or even in your working relationships, why am I employed at this job, or why am I still working for this boss that I don't like? So be intentional about every single thing that you do, with emphasis on your relationships. Ooh, this one this one is my favorite one. Spending time alone. I go to eat alone, I go to the bar alone, I'm in Barcelona alone. A lot of times people underestimate how important it is to be alone. I think sometimes we're such in a rush to hang out and be with our friends that we underestimate the power of just being in our own presence. Not only does it allow us to get a deeper understanding of, you know, issues that we may be having, or time for rest, but sometimes it helps you understand like who you really are as a person. The more that you know about yourself, and or that you understand who you are, you'll learn like things that interest you. Maybe things that you thought that you were interested in really aren't things that you're interested in. And honestly, like, you get to learn to love parts of yourself that you just don't get to spend a lot of time with. Because, you know, we're always on the go. We work 40 hours a week. Then we have social time. We have gym. We got to do this. We always do that. We're always surrounded by people, you know, even in the grocery store. Sometimes it's really good to just spend a lot of time alone. I always think about alone time as like your time to recharge. Like, you're always out socializing, You're always out and about, especially like when you're at work. Like sometimes that is draining, and you can use that as your time to like recharge and reset. So spending time alone was something that I definitely capitalized on in my 20s, and kind of helped me understood who I was as a person a little bit more. I really want to do like an exaggerated highlighted look, so I'm gonna add a little bit more powder. It was very important for me, like once I moved into my own apartment here in Dallas, to make my space my home. I am a hypocrite in this aspect because I was not trying to live in Dallas. I actually had intentions of moving back to the Virgin Islands and living my life there. Why, you know. And I just got like a makeshift couch, like a little bed. I had like not nice dishes, and that was my first year of living alone. And then when I realized that I wasn't going back home, I was like, oh, well, it's very important for me, especially since if this is going to be a space that I occupy majority of the time, I needed to make it my home. So I started like going home decor shopping, and I started to fall in love with just being in my own space. So it's very important for me at that very young age. Very young, I say very young like that wasn't like a couple of years ago, but it was very important for me to learn to make my house the home. And yes, it's just an apartment, and a lot of people give me crap for this all the time, but like I go above and beyond making my space a home because I spend so much time there. Like I get off and I'm at home, or on my off days, like I'm just at home, just relaxing. So making it feel very homey was something that I am glad that I took the time to do a few years ago, because now like I have no problem being at home. Like I really enjoy being at home. In the day and age of a smartphone, this one goes without saying. Take tons of pictures. You're out with your friends, take pictures. You're out with family, take pictures. You're out alone, take pictures. You experience something new, just take pictures, because these memories will last a lifetime. I mean, I don't think I need to exaggerate on this one. I think right now, let me tell y'all. I want to tell y'all how many photos I have. I have library. I have 56,000 photos on my phone, and that's from 2014, I want to say, because obviously like I've had an iPhone for years. But take photos, y'all. Like the memories will continue to live on forever and ever and ever. Oh, and get your iCloud storage up, baby, because it don't make sense for you to keep taking pictures if you're not gonna have anywhere to put them. You gotta keep deleting them. Practicing gratitude. And I know that sounds so easy. Oh, I'm thankful for this, I'm thankful for that. I think what I had to learn is that there are some things that, unseen blessings is what I like to call them. And I practice gratitude on a very large scale for these small things that go unnoticed. And gratitude has allowed me to focus on everything that is going good in my life, especially when it feels like everything's going wrong. Like practicing gratitude was something that took me a very long way in my 20s. I touched on this one when I was talking about how I managed to maintain good grades in my MBA video. It's okay to ask for help. This one was a challenge for me, and I didn't learn it until very recently. Ask for help. And I think I learned it in my academic career, and it was able to translate into like my personal and my professional life. If you need help, guys, I promise it does not make you any less of a person if you reach out and you ask for help. It's okay to say no sometimes too. Like you don't always have to go out, you don't always have to help. If you need to say no, I promise you, your friends are not going to hate you. And if they do, then they're not really your friends. But it really is okay to say no. Sometimes you just don't have the bandwidth to help everybody or to be a part of everything that everybody wants you to be. So sometimes it's okay to say no. I had to learn this too the hard way to avoid burnout at work. And obviously, like, lessons that I learned, like in my personal life, my academic life, my professional life, like I've translated them to all aspects of my life. So I learned that at work, it really is okay to say no. I know we were talking earlier about investing in your skincare. Y'all already know this one goes without saying. Wear your sunscreen. Wear your sunscreen. It doesn't make sense for you to do this extensive skincare routine if you're not going to protect the layers of the skin, because it's just like counterproductive. You're putting on salicylic acid, all these acids, all of these products. Put your sunscreen on. This last one, I'm gonna say it jokingly, but it literally translates to all aspects of your life. And I say that a lot, but y'all, like when you learn something in one part of your life and you're able to apply it to all parts of your life, reduce, reuse, recycle. Reduce. And it doesn't just necessarily mean the environment. Reduce the amount of stuff that you have in your home. Go through your closet. You do not wear 90% of the things that are in there right now. I promise you. If you are downsizing things that are in your closet, give them away. Take them to the Goodwill. Take them to the Salvation Army. I'm gonna go and get my hair done. I don't know if I'm loving my makeup. I think it might be this light because the lighting in here is very poor. And I brought the little camera attachment for my camera, the little light attachment I meant, but the power button is stuck. So it's giving, I don't know, but I'll be right back once I'm finished getting ready. I'm gonna get my hair done and put my clothes on because it's almost time for me to leave. All right, you guys, this is the finished look. I told y'all, like, I think it was the lighting because it's not giving like ghostly. I went to Celine and I got one of their fragrances. There were some glasses that I had wanted and they were sold out. I was talking to the girl and she said they transferred a lot of their stock to Paris for Paris Fashion Week, as well as what they had remaining people were buying to go to Paris Fashion Week. So I got the black tie. Oh my gosh, when I tell y'all, this smells so grown and sexy. Like it's a cross of like a men's fragrance and a women's fragrance. Oh, if you are in Europe or you ever get the chance to go to Europe, make sure you check out the Celine stores because I don't think that they have any of the fragrances in any of the stores in the US. But black tie was definitely my fave. There was another one that was a close second. Actually, I lied. I think you can order them online if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I don't remember. But if you do get a chance to check out their fragrances, baby, you will not be disappointed. Like, this is fragrance right here. On my lips, I'm wearing my Dior Hyaluronic Lip Plumper, which has been my go-to lately. And then I'm just gonna go over it with the color D-Light in the actual lip gloss. I'm just wearing my Chanel like pearl earrings, and then my rings, and then my Hermes bracelet. I'm not sure what bag I'm gonna grab yet, but I'm gonna post a picture. So follow me on Instagram. I'll go ahead and link my Instagram here on the screen. If you're not on Instagram, you're missing out of like real-time updates. So get on there and follow me. Again, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I can't wait to see y'all in the next one.